All right, we are live for the Girlfriend's Guide here with one of the brothers, one of the original brothers, and Audrey. Say hi, Audrey, to the world.
Hi, Audrey, to the world.
Audrey, you are sideways.
I'm sorry.
Why
What
you
do I
did it
need to
just the way I
do?
said it.
What can I do? It's 2 a.m. How do I fix it?
Move this light. Oh,
I don't know. Turn your phone or your iPod or your iPad.
I
much
don't have
better.
a
You want to
tripod. Okay, so here.
I got a fake tripod situation.
For real.
Y'all are cracking me up. This is the Girlfriend's Guide of Crazy. Okay, so Audrey is going to tell us after I introduce Tiffany what and who the brothers are. Boys in the days. Michael, stop it. And Tiffany is one of my girlfriends of new. I think we've been friends. Me and Audrey's friendship spans 20 plus years.
Oh,
Yeah.
And me and Tiffany's friendship spans almost 4 now. Is that
Yep.
correct? Since 2015.
Yep.
And me and Tiffany met in a virtual world, in a writing group that Kente hosted. And me and Audrey, we've grown up together in the same beautiful city of Omaha, Nebraska. So, Tiffany, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Is that ice cream good, girl?
Situation.
I mean, that's your code for tea. We're going to spill some tea today. Okay, so Audrey, tell us who the brothers are, and what girlfriends for you looks like.
Okay, so the brothers, do I give real names and stuff? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because they were on the picture. I mean, they're just not here.
Okay. So, the brothers were Shannon, and then 2 of her cousins, Aaron Sanders and Rachel Sanders, now McCowan. We all grew up together, like Shannon said, in church. So we've known each other forever, like literally. I think we're all kind of born months. Well, Shannon and Rachel, you guys are what, a year apart, months apart?
A year and 7
A
days.
year and 7 days apart. And then Aaron and myself, we are born like 2 weeks apart. So like we literally have been around each other forever since the womb. And so we took the name the Brothers because we needed a name for ourselves. And we could not compare our personalities to anything that like was on TV or anything. Like we all loved the Golden Girls, but I think, was it Blanche? Didn't nobody want to be Blanche? Didn't nobody want to be the hoe?
Didn't nobody want to be the hoe.
Didn't nobody want to be the hoe? So that didn't work. And then what else was it? It was like we girlfriends.
The girlfriend.
Yep. We couldn't put ourselves, Sex and the City, with anything. And I think so then the compromise ended up being the Brothers. But it kind of ended up being a play on it because at the time my son was younger, and he has a brother on his father's side. Mm-hmm. And so when my son and then his brother would come together, they'd be like, "What's up, boy?" So it was like, that's it. We the Bruddahs.
That's where it came from.
We the Bruddahs. So that's what we've been forever.
Look. And Tiffany.
Yeah.
Are we going with BSE, or what is our connection to the Girlfriend Guide? Like, is that what we're going with? Or are we going with our Atlanta crew when I come to town?
Both of them.
Okay.
I think we connected when you started a chat group.
Okay. Yep.
The writing group.
Yep.
It just blossomed from there, man. Like when Shannon comes to town, I have to see her. Like I'm a little salty. I didn't see you the last time.
I'm sorry.
I was working.
Good. I thought. Look, it was good. It was good. Okay, so that's a little backdrop of friendship. So, like I said, 20 plus years, and now we're moving into our 4th year. let's talk about what is the importance of having girlfriends. Um, we live in America in 2019. And the old societal phrase that women just don't know how to get along with each other. They're too busy tearing each other down. What has having girlfriends in your life been, and what does it mean to you to have friendships that transcend decades and time, that are genuine and authentic? Either one of you can start. Tiffany, you look like you still eating ice cream. So Audrey,
It's so good.
Well, the thing is that I never had I have a lot of associates. I have a lot of people that I'm cool with, but like growing up, my mom outside of the brothers, and like I had a few small pockets of friends. Um, like I always kind of was tomboyish. I always hung with the boys because the girls in the neighborhood, mama said they was fast
they
or
were
da 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 da
fast.
da. So like
Mm-hmm.
I was real tomboyish, but I always had like my little crew. I had the brothers, and then I had
The bunny.
like for the friends that I'm with now from like middle school and high school, and like most of us in high school were on the cheer squad together, and we still connect. Um, I think it is important to have genuine friendships, and yes, it is hard. And I'm not even gonna lie. Um, when I moved from Omaha and moved to Georgia, I live in Columbus, Georgia. It was very different. Like I remember, like when I first moved here, I was working to proctor a test, and I was at a school where it was predominantly female, but it was predominantly black females. And I remember I walked in the room and I was like, "Good morning, everybody," and everybody kind of just looked me up and down, and it was like, okay, like it took me a long time here in the South to make female acquaintances.
Yeah.
Um, and I think it's kind of just that always, well, who is she and what is she doing? And, da, 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 da. And I think a lot of times with women and their own insecurities, that prohibits them a lot of times from opening up and making friends. But the friends that I have here that I actually have soul ties with, it's almost like it was kind of destiny in essence that we came together. God definitely ordained it, and it's not just like mere coincidence. It's not just hey, this is my friend today. Not my true friendships.
Right.
Everybody needs a friend. Every female needs somebody that they could talk to besides a boyfriend or spouse, but somebody that's going to be real, tell you when you're wrong, tell you when you're right, to encourage you. Um, I mean, a real friend
Yeah.
is something that is hard to come by. And so when you have those relationships and you develop those real friendships, then it's important to maintain them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What say you, Trap Nizzle?
What kids say. Uh, Basically, I didn't understand the importance of having female friends for your mental health
Mm.
until I got in my 30s.
Well,
I
listen, honey.
didn't realize you needed friends to validate those experiences that, you have that men don't have.
Yeah.
Like you need friends to tell you, oh girl, it's fine, it's absolutely normal. I had postpartum depression after I had my child. You're absolutely normal for this. You know, I've dealt with sexism at my job. It's just little stuff that you can get through with your girlfriends that guys can empathize with. Well, I'm sorry, that guys can sympathize
Right.
with. You can't really
Right.
empathize with because they don't go through that.
That's so
And
true.
especially when I became a 911 operator and everybody's dumping on you and I need my girlfriends.
Yeah. You know what? And I'm so glad that you said that, because I didn't realize, and it's not that I've taken my girlfriends for granted, because that's clearly not the case. But as I've moved, and I'm a wanderer for anyone who wants to know, so I moved from city to city. This last location has left me odd person out. Friends at work because of the role that I'm in. Seemingly, there is no brown face at work. There is no brown face where I live. For a while, there was no brown face in the Sunday school class that I attended. And so I would, exactly. And so,
I can imagine.
People, especially when Miami Beach, all of my friends in Miami Beach were in the senior.
Wow.
And mommy's black, because the person that I made the best connection with, when I met her, she was 68 or 69, and we connected off a Swatch watch. She had on a Swatch watch, and I knew it from where she was sitting because that was the first watch I ever had. And I was like, you got on a Swatch watch. And she was like, yeah, my husband gets me one every year for my birthday or something. And we connected on that.
That's
and
cute.
So I didn't know how old she was until we had went out to dinner or something, and she was drinking, and she was like, I'm such and such old. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, where did you store it away? But we started talking about relationships with other women and how impactful it's been, and or the struggles that you may have, and how over the years relationships can change. And so some of the relationships I had growing up, I no longer have. They've changed over time. Some of them, they just weren't meant to go into the next season of my life, and I'm okay with it. Some people ended, and I've prayed about it and found peace with it, and some of them are meant for me to reconcile and rekindle. One of them I found again on a Bible app, which we hadn't talked in 4 or 5 years. But having girlfriends, which is why I also like to travel so much, is because sometimes I just need to get off this rock, see my girlfriends, not just talk to them on the phone, not just text with them, but actually go to where they are, down, have a conversation, break, bread, laugh about the stuff that matters to us. I have my coworkers tell me all the time, well, we don't even see color. Well, of course you don't.
Right.
Everybody in the world looks like you.
Right.
But for me, having women, not just women, because it's not necessarily always women that look like me, but having women who look like me, given living environment, has been so necessary. And especially after 30. Man, I can't use Clean and Clear no more. So I'm sitting here trying to get natural remedies from people. I'm like, well, what do you use on your face? Because you've been here a little longer than I have, because this just don't work no more. And so having those conversations, and then sometimes getting into the meat and potatoes about romance, about finances, about health after 30, about raising children, whether you're doing it with a spouse or by yourself. Sometimes just about, those pounds that you can't get rid of after you get past 35. Because let's just face it, once you get past 30, that metabolism says, hold up.
Yeah, it really does.
Time out. You can't eat that ice cream no more at 2:00 in the morning.
Right.
We're going to do it without.
So it's like, for me, sometimes it's my refuge. Sometimes it's my peace and my sanctuary, picking up the phone and saying, girl, I had a day at work. Or, man, girl. And it's a difference and girl.
That part.
Like, what's coming on the other side of that conversation. So for me, it's been, because I've been here now for almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years in April. And I tell my boss all the time, I need to go on a vacation so I can see people who look like me.
Yeah.
They are not here.
I'm glad you brought that up, because working in the field I work in is good to say. Okay, so this call is talking about this black person walking down the street. Do we really want to deal with this?
You
Right.
sound far away, Tiff.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am. Loud and clear.
Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. I forgot to charge my phone, so I had to plug it in. That's what I was doing.
Plug it in, plug it in. Okay.
No, I'm saying I'm glad you brought up race because sometimes you can think something is in your head, or the people around you that don't look like you will marginalize. Oh, you're just blowing this out of proportion.
Yeah.
And then you get with your friend, and she's like, no. Your feelings are validated. You just want that mental validation.
Right.
Friendship brings about, okay, I'm not by myself, and I'm not crazy. I really am going through this, and it's normal, and I'm fine.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. So let's talk about what we talk about when we not in front of a live audience, when we get down to the nitty gritty. Let's talk about seeking advice for things like relationships. What is it that you really want to hear from your girlfriend when you asking about this guy?
I want my girlfriends.
Exactly.
I want my girlfriends to be truthful. I don't want them to be disrespectful. And I want them to tell me things that, like my friend, I have friends that are like my therapist. They will tell me things that I am afraid to admit to myself.
Yeah.
So you need your friends to get in there, and those friends you can ask those questions, and the friends you can't ask those questions.
Right.
Everything ain't on the same level.
Right. I agree. Like you gotta have friends. You gotta have accountability partners. You gotta have somebody that's gonna tell you the truth.
That's
like,
right.
Nah, girl, you wrong, or slow down, or anybody could lie to you. Anybody can have a bunch of yes people around them, but a real friend is gonna tell you when you're right or wrong. So especially like relationships, I have what I call my inner circle. And that's 3 people. And I mean, it goes, the ages vary, but to get various perspectives. But it's not like just putting everything out for all of your friends or associates, but that inner circle, that's the core where, like, I trust your judgment. I know if I ask you to pray about something or pray with me on something, you're going to actually pray about it. So, those are the people that, okay, now am I tripping or did I say something wrong? Where I can be vulnerable versus, a lot of times you have to stay strong, or, you don't want to let them see you cry. But that inner circle, you can let that shell down. You can take that wall down, and they could see the real you.
Yeah. That's real.
Flaws and all.
That's real. That's absolutely real. And so, what does it mean to have girlfriends because both of you have children. And getting away, having that time because, it's one thing to spend all your time with a child, having child time, doing activities with them, taking them to and fro. But it's another thing to get away from that and have adult conversations and adult dates and adult time. The conversations tend to differ drastically one to the other.
They do.
Whereas I don't have children, so spending time with you guys, I know, is a balance of, having someone watch your kids, whereas Audrey, when we were first starting our beautiful friendship, Amar would come with us.
Just about everywhere, except the club.
And, now it's like, oh, well, now we're gonna be able to get away because we don't have to have Jada with us.
Right.
And with you, Tiffany, there are times where you will bring the kids with you because we're doing something kid friendly. But there are other times where we're like, okay, we're going to have a couple of drinks tonight. The balance between those two things and parenting with girlfriends, is that for you? Because I can't speak to that experience, but I know when I see y'all without your kids, it's not like you're happy to be without them, but you're happy to be with adults who can have adult conversations.
Right.
Oh yeah.
You need grown up time. Like
Yes.
you can't be around
Hallelujah.
kids all day, all night, and
You cannot.
you would literally go crazy. Like, as Shannon said, like when I had my son, I was significantly younger, and so he was like my buddy. Like wherever I go, he go. We would be like when the brothers would get together outside of us, like going to the club. He would always be there, but we would always find a way to, my parents or somebody or his dad would watch him so we can get out and do stuff or whatever. But this go round with my daughter, I noticed that it wasn't, and probably because I was older and trying to kind of counteract, like I was always out and about with my son, but with her, I didn't let her out. Not that I didn't let her out, but I didn't have people watch her as much. And that was something that I missed, for a long time with her, that I didn't get out as much as I probably should have for my own sanity. So preoccupied with being, with my son, I was a single mother. But when I had my daughter, I was still married. And so much early on was being the perfect mom, perfect wife, be at home,
Yeah.
Well, now, as I'm in the process of my divorce, I realized that not that I gave too much. Let me back that up. I didn't make enough time with girlfriends and adult time and if nothing but just going to get a drink somewhere. I look back on things now and it's so easy to get consumed and
How old is your
not
child?
my son is 20 and then my daughter is 5. So
Oh,
huge
wow.
gap. Yes.
Yeah.
But
You have that gap.
it's a big gap. But I
I have
think
that gap. I'm 34 and my brother is 17.
oh wow.
That's huge.
Wow, that is huge. So yeah, I think this go round, like I realized even more so the importance of friends because it's so easy to get consumed. And like you feel bad sometimes because I know poor Shannon, it'll be like we're talking on the phone. It's like, okay, Shannon, I need to get Jada in the bed. I have to talk to you later, or I'll call you back. And a lot of times
You have
that
that
putting
Tourette syndrome where you talking to your friends and then you start fussing at your kids, then you go right back to talking to your friends.
And sometimes I'd be like, wait, are you talking to me?
right,
Right.
and it's
Right. Your
like, well,
friends in the
Shannon,
background like,
I'm
who are
gonna
you saying hello to?
I'm gonna have to call you back, Shannon. I'll call you when I get her sleep, and then I end up sleep, and I was like,
Right.
dang, I
Then you
didn't
go
call
sleep
Shannon
before
back.
she goes and it's over.
So shout out to the no kids friends. You guys are the real MVP because y'all got to
Man,
put up with
listen.
us.
You know what's so crazy? It's crazy to say that because I took a vacation without my children for the first time late last year.
Wow,
For the first time. They are 11 and 8.
you
So
have
I have
to.
not been on not one child free vacation for over a decade. And I
Yeah.
liked it so much that in March, the weekend of my birthday, I will be on my second child free trip.
You have to do that. One of my friends, in my inner circle, she's older than me. She's older than me, but she
You said
constantly,
nothing, let's not get back.
yeah, she constantly has to tell me because she tells me that I remind her so much of herself when she was younger. And same thing, she was like, it took me a long time to realize that I had to make time for me. That
Yes.
yes, you have to be mom, you have to
Oh
be
my
this, you
God.
have to be
Yes.
that. But if you don't make time for you, who's gonna make time for you? You can pour out and pour out and pour out
You
into
can't pour out an
everybody
empty cup.
else, but who's gonna pour into you?
You cannot pour out an
That
empty
part.
cup.
Yep.
I'm the oldest of five,
So
and
yeah.
the smallest age gap between me and my sisters is a decade.
Wow.
So being
That's a
big
lot.
sister, getting them up for school,
Mm-hmm.
doing this and that, and then
Mm,
to jump right into time I become
Parenthood.
an adult,
Mm-hmm.
being a parent, because I had my daughter when I was 22.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just now learning to
Yeah.
tell everybody back up. This is me time. Whatever you need, the answer is no. You're not gonna die. I need to recharge.
Yeah,
Right. You're right.
And that's where
that is
your
so
girlfriends
that is
come in.
so true.
They could call me and hear me and be like, "Okay, you're not sounding right. What? Let's go out tonight. Let's go do this. Let's
Mm-hmm.
go do that. Let's get you back right." Because they end up talking you off the ledge.
Mm-hmm. In many instances, yes.
Yeah. Speaking of legends, let's talk about things that the girlfriends have done with you that you shouldn't have done.
Ooh.
If you remember one instance, I mean, you can give more than one, and I'll go first in this regard. One
I'm
instance,
nervous.
something that you shouldn't have done with your girlfriend. Um, it'll go. I'm gonna go back before the brothers, Audrey,
Okay.
because this is probably the worst thing I've ever done. Um, and so me and some other friends, and I'll just say other friends because we're not friends now. One of those particular friends, her boyfriend had cheated on her.
Ooh.
And so we was loaded up like maybe 15 deep, in multiple,
Mm-hmm.
and we went to the house. And when I tell you, they towed that poor baby car up and get that brick. Why they? What they? First of all, they was about to pull off and leave me there.
God.
It was like get that brick and hit it with or something. Because we heard police and they were like, "Come on!" And so I'll never forget because we eventually apologized to him after he apologized to her. But it was a whole hot mess. It was like, first of all, we were teenagers, so we have grown up past that. But even in our 20s, when we were still friends and we laughed about it, and we was like, what were we doing? Why were we being such heathens? I remember one of them saying, "I'd do anything for my girlfriends." I said, "Yeah, not now. I'm not. I don't look good enough
Yeah, no.
for you." But then, yeah, we did a lot of stupid things, and that was probably the most stupid thing that we've done. Um, so, who's next?
You know what's funny? I really don't have like a
Oh, so it's
story
just
like that.
I'm
But
thinking.
I
okay.
will say I've had
It's
instances
just
in the club. Like I've never had anything over a guy because I'm that friend that's like, it's not even worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we doing it?
there was so many hype people in that group. That was a whole
Hot
But
mess.
bad people.
as an I will, and I won't even say I shouldn't do this, but I still do this. Oh, girl, you want to see what he up to? Let's make this fake page. Let's snoop. Let's see who she is. Let's see what she said.
No.
I am that friend. If you want some investigating done, I am your PI. Your whole
Okay.
team.
I need
We
to
gonna
keep
be
that in
like one of
mind.
my
Future
dads
reference.
always look at the police records and be like, "Let's see if he got a record."
baby.
first."
I find socials, court cases.
Okay.
We gonna get to the bottom of it.
Okay. I need
This
to
is our
keep that in mind.
friend.
I need to see who
Handling
I need
all
to talk to when stuff go down.
Listen, I'm that person, and I am not apologizing for it.
Look, get you one of her. All right, Audrey.
I'm
What
trying to
about you?
think.
We're gonna
Like,
get to the good part of it too.
I mean,
Spill that tea, girl.
I'm trying. No, like, I guess maybe because I'm trying to think. Like, I don't think we had a story like that, Shannon. Like, I mean, I think the stupidest thing probably like we've been drunk and somebody was drunk and driving or something like that.
No. The first time I ever got drunk.
I think that's about it. Like, I mean, we've been on the other side when somebody is vandalized us or whatever.
I do say that I've had a friend that was there with me when I tried to physically assault a person I caught cheating. Like, I was like, oh, this is what we doing? And my friend's like, no.
Okay.
Yeah, no ma'am.
My friend was amped. She was
know what? Maybe you wasn't with us that time, Shannon. We was trying to get one of the other brothers' key back from their boyfriend, ex-boyfriend. I don't even know what he was. Yes. And that was physical. And when I think about it now, it's like he was crazy. We probably should have been. Matter of fact, it was me and Shy. We were physically trying to get them keys back from him, and like us two girls jumping on this crazy fool. That was crazy. When I look back on it now, it's like that was probably dumb.
You just brought up a memory. Yeah. No. I do have a story. I was pregnant with my son, and this ex,
trap.
He wasn't even the last ex, but he owed me money. He owed me like $275.
Oh no!
So he never gave me that money back. I was like, whatever. I'm pregnant. I'm living my best life. I'm with my friend. We're out. We're having dinner. This dude hits me up because I hadn't changed my phone number. I think going on 9 years now. So this dude was like, "Oh, just come to the house." This was before I switched got the number that I have now. I had the same phone number since I was a teenager. So he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna give you that money. I'm trying to make amends. I'm moving on with my life." So I'm thinking he's on some spiritual healing type crap. Okay. My son's father was like, "Do not go over his house. You don't need his money. Don't do it." My friend was like, "Nope, we gonna go." We go over to the house. And this dude, like, completely flips out. Mind you, he was texting me all day. Come get your money. Gave me the address. Gave me the girl's gate code to get in because he was living with his girlfriend. I get in there. And he was like, he want to fight me. Why are you acting this way? And I'm like, what's wrong with you? Like, I'm the one that's pregnant. Why are you so emotional?
Right.
So when I say that it almost got to the point where I was about to be in a physical altercation, and my friend sent me a text message. If he threatened to call the police, they may be here. Let's go.
Wow.
She sent the text from the car. I get in the car, and we ride out. She said, he threatened to call the police. I said, yep. She said, that was them, wasn't it? I said, yep.
Wow.
She said, okay, we just go keep driving.
Wow.
But I did not initiate this, y'all. He contacted me.
That's crazy.
That is far in your past. I'm glad we're not there no more.
Man, that's like 9 years ago.
I know. I was like Victor's 9 now.
Yeah. I have had situations where it almost was like that. Like, I know this last situation with my soon-to-be ex, one of my inner circles, she is like, she always down. She always say that she's asked the Lord to deliver her from a lot of stuff, but fighting ain't one of them.
But it ain't fighting ain't one of them.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
so.
That's bad.
She was ready to go to blows for me with this last situation, and she said that she had visualized sharpening a number 2 pencil and stabbing my ex in his eyeball.
Not funny. I'm sorry.
And I was like, that's a friend. Like, that's a for real friend. That's a
No,
real.
she didn't watch too many episodes of our Investigation Discovery, and I'm gonna need her to not.
I'm gonna need her to start watching Brown with Knives.
But she was ready though. She was ready. She was
She's
ready.
ready.
See, like, and the thing is with my ex, we've had a couple run-ins. The first time, I was like waiting to exhale. Like I had by the
Okay.
time she had got to my place, because she lives about
Try to.
25 minutes from where I stayed. By the time she got to my house, I had threw all his stuff out. So she couldn't even get to like
I remember
do
all of
anything.
this.
She didn't get to
That's
do
awful.
anything. But this time I was at peace. But she was ready. She had visualized sharpening a pencil and just stabbing them in the eyeball. And it's like we ain't
Listen,
got to do it that
Angela.
time. We ain't got to do it this time, sis. We gonna walk away. We gonna do it better this time.
Yes, Lord. Let the redeemed of the Lord say so. Good gosh.
My little
Okay.
make cry.
Let's go to the extreme of that. Audrey Kente said you need Jesus.
I got Jesus. I got him. I got him now.
That's why. Look, that's why he didn't get stabbed with the number 2
Hello.
pencil.
That was nobody but Jesus.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Okay.
Because we was both gonna be on mugshots like,
and I wasn't gonna have enough
ugh.
bail money for the both of y'all.
I be like,
so
what
I
you
would have
got on my book, Shannon?
I would have to go to the oldest profession in the world to make that happen. Your little cousin a hoe. But anywho. Okay. So now that we know that we had some moments of crazy, what are the moments in your relationships with your girlfriends that have brought about clarity? Those good feeling moments where you have been able to say, I'm glad I was able to share this with my girlfriend.
When I moved from my apartment to the house that I'm in now, it took all the little coins I had. And I was just really being down on myself. And I just felt awful because I worked so much and I worked so hard and I felt like I had nothing to show for it.
Right.
So I had a friend, she said, you went through a horrible breakup in which you had to stay in an apartment with your mom. Then you moved to a bigger apartment and now you in a house. Like, why? Like, she just broke down step by step things that I had shared with her. This is what I want to accomplish. This is what I want to do. Mm-hmm. And she was like, you did it. What's wrong? She said, I know you're not at the finish line, but you still have to enjoy the progress of the race.
Yes.
And the way she broke that down, I was like, oh,
yeah,
I'm kind of, in this thing.
Growing up.
I was really, really getting down on myself. Like, I was getting depressed behind it. And she was like, why? Why do you feel this way? Okay. Like, she didn't invalidate my feelings. She didn't say, well, it's all in your head. She literally said, I acknowledge you feel this way, but this is why you shouldn't. You feel this way, not just because, oh, you shouldn't be depressed or get over it, but you have a lot that you've accomplished I just want you to look at the other side of this coin. So,
absolutely. Absolutely.
That made me feel like $1 million.
Yeah.
Girl, you bomb.com. What about you, Audrey?
I've had so many of them. So many of them. Like I said, Shannon is part of my inner circle. One of the dream team, my top 3. So she has had several clarifying moments from me. Just being there. Like, Shannon is that friend that, like, when you are in a bad place or in a bad space, Shannon would just show up. She would pop up in town and stuff. And it's like, girl, what you doing? But it'd be like, you needed, like, that's just what the doctor ordered. So, like, we've had so many moments, but yeah, Um, that's the importance of like friends, somebody that's gonna kind of real reality back in for you, but also just be there, just to be there. Sometimes that's all you need is just somebody to be there.
Yeah. I think for me, I think my silver lining clarity moment came summer of 2015, and there was so much going on that summer. I had backpacked through much of Europe by myself.
I lived through you.
Yeah.
And, I was in a grieving stage because while I was I think I was leaving. I might have been leaving Zurich, or I was in Zurich when I got the news that a friend of mine had passed. And I was so devastated because we had so many plans for that year. We had already bought tickets to go see Jill Scott in Memphis. We were going to a block party in Philly. And we had these trips already paid and planned for. And I hadn't really broke down and cried over a death at that point in 14 years. So I think I cried for 2 days straight. And so when I came back home, my girlfriends came to town. And my aunt was like, you need to stop and breathe for a moment because you are grieving. But I didn't know how to process that because I wanted to enjoy the company of my friends. But when you carry someone in your spirit, that heavy that you expelled, it was hard to do both. It was hard to do both at the same time. So it was like, I want to have a great time, but I want to fall into a ball and be emotionally distraught because it was a life taking.
Yeah.
It was, and it wasn't something that anyone was expecting. But having my girlfriends there, even though it was a weekend of crazy.
It was. That was a weekend of crazy.
It was really a weekend of crazy. And it was emotions were all over the place. And we've had a really good time. I knew that that's what I needed. I needed people around me to remind me of why it's important and why you cherish every moment. Why, because I was going to come right back after that happened when I found out that we're passing. My boss was like, I'll fly you back. And I was like, no. So what I ended up doing is not going to sightsee in Paris. I ended up staying in the airport that night and just kind of trying to detoxify my emotions, which didn't help. But once I got to Hamburg, it was like a weight was lifted. It was like, but then that cloud came back when I got back to the States. And I was like, oh, I missed the funeral. I missed the wake. There was an obituary waiting for me when I got home. So it was like reminding myself all over what had just happened a month ago.
Yeah.
But my girlfriends there was what I needed in that moment. Because sometimes you just need people to be present. They don't necessarily have to say anything or do anything. It was just being present in the moment and letting you process whatever you needed to process. And that was good for me. That was enough. And I still went to Jill Scott, ended up taking my Uber driver.
I remember that.
I gifted him. He was like, oh, I love Jill Scott. Do you mind if I go get a shirt and clock out? Because I have never seen Jill Scott in concert. So I gave him the other ticket. And then I went to the block party. And met other people there, they had a commonality with that friend. So it all worked out in ways that were unexpected. But I think that would probably be the best.
That was just her energy, man. That was just God telling you.
And I still keep in touch with her children. So it's like
that's what's up.
Beauty of, just knowing that there is a connection there because she's, as an adult, she's the only person outside of family who sent me something for Valentine's Day. And she didn't even realize that she was sending something that it would get there on Valentine's Day. But I told her, I said, you are my first Valentine. I don't know how to feel about this. Hey, what you mean I ain't never take you to see Jill Scott? You ain't never took me to see Jill Scott. That the man is supposed to do the stuff. Women just supposed to cower in the corner and take it, right? So you taking strangers. I did. And he took me back to the airport after my trip was over. It was great. And I still talk to him to this day. I bet he did. Don't be inappropriate and fresh. Y'all, Kente is in Messenger tripping. But yeah, that was so I have this meme, and I want you to think carefully about it. It says the 5 types of people to surround yourself with. And what I want you to tell me is, do you have all these people in your group? 1, and which one of them are you? 5 types of people to surround yourself with: the inspired, the motivated, the open-minded, the passionate, and the grateful. So do you have all 5 types of those people in your circle? And if you do, which one are you?
I know I have all 5 of those people in my circle. And I think that all of our roles switch.
Mm-hmm. That's
depending on what the other friend needs.
Okay.
So one person.
What would I do most like, Trap?
The outspoken.
Okay. Let's see. The open-minded? Is that what you mean? Is that what you're going to make outspoken? Because I did not say that.
Say she making up qualities.
I was like, where did that come from? I said
the outspoken.
She was like, this the one I'm going to be.
Wait, no.
And that's
I heard motivating, inspiring, open-minded. What were the other 2?
The passionate and the grateful. And Kente said you're the motivated, and Audrey, you're the inspired.
Well,
so what are y'all
motivated? But
okay.
I think I'm also a little, I don't know, I might not be the most open-minded friend.
I was definitely going to say, Shannon always got to be like, Audrey, get it together.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm already going to say, I know that's not going to be me. I think sometimes I am a little bit. That's why I said if we actually would have did like the Golden Girls, I think I'm like Dorothy in the Golden Girls. Like I can be motivated, I can be inspiring, but I'm usually like that, like, girl, get it together or shut it up. Put the shut to the up.
Look, and she's the oldest of the group, so it's like you're the oldest does not mean you can say whatever because I need you to get closer. Like,
yes. But I like how you said it kind of rotates, because I think like a real friend, you realize what you need to be at that time. You might not always be this, or you might not always be that. And I think like my little inner circle, I think we kind of all can feel that we can be what is needed at that time. Sometimes you need somebody that's going to kick you in your butt and say, come on, get it together. Yeah. And then sometimes you need somebody that's going to be like, hey, don't give up on them dreams. Trust the process. Just let it take place.
Absolutely. Well, I think that it's like I said, my friendship circle has changed drastically to me when I moved to the Keys. And I've actually acquired friendships that I didn't have before. So Tiffany being one of them. And then another cousin who's not Aaron or Rachel has stepped into my life in a role that, we do stuff together. We've had trips together. We bounce ideas off of each other in terms of relationships. We're in similar situations as me and Rachel are in terms of our birth year and birth orders. Whereas I'm older than her by a year. A little less than a year, actually. And so I think that I have, because of those circles, and then another person from our writing group who I've become accountability partners with because of her inspiration in terms of the business she does in poetry and the stuff that I want to do with my own brand. and then another seasoned woman who will be on later today, who's always been alongside me in terms of, you know, kind of like mentor. So I see the roles of all 5 of those play out. And you're absolutely right. I think me individually, I think I've kind of moved to each one.
Yeah.
What my friend would need at that time. But I would say above all else, I think I'm probably the passionate one.
I have to agree with that.
I agree.
And if I had to add a tagline to that, it would be the passionate overthinker. Because that's usually what I do. I'm very passionate about things and I overthink a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, yeah, that's usually where I'm at. Dr. Ramirez said, do you think sometimes too much feminine energy can be overpowering? Yeah, I be trying to have male friends and they be always want to talk about touching my booty and stuff. And I'll be like, see, I just want to be friends. So
what does he mean by overpowering?
That I was going to ask the same thing.
Because God didn't put us on this earth to be alone.
We're in the same state. We're not even in the same state. So for me, I said we're not even in the same state. So for me, I don't think it's necessarily overpowering. We don't see each other on a regular basis.
Even with my friends that are here, I mean, women aren't monolithic. Like, you're not going to have just the stereotypical super feminine, dainty, like,
that
friends.
part.
All of us have masculine and feminine energy, whether it be a male or a female. So no, it can. Yeah. Can women that are friends get on each other's nerves just as much as guys that are friends? Yes.
Most definitely.
But we have that inherently not the best friends just because they're women? No. So no, as far as it being the feminine energy that can be overpowering, maybe your friend just getting on your nerves that day.
Yeah. And sometimes you got to
that month.
Right.
She can get on your nerves that month. Like it happens.
Right.
And
that's where you have to step in and say, okay, let me fall back. Or girl, something going on. So call me when you get it together. I mean
Right.
And that's that. And keep it moving.
Dr. Ramirez said, I don't have friends. Man, you in a whole nother bracket, lady. Like, your relationship familial. So that's, I mean, all of my people are too far away. Yeah. So I have learned, and as I've grown time, I have developed it. I'm hearing too. Become an extension of my family. My biggest family.
Can you hear her, Audrey?
In terms
it's
of friends,
like robot.
Developed when I moved to Dallas, and that was probably.
You sound like a robot, Shannon.
Is it better? No. Hello.
Now I can hear you.
Hello.
I hear you, but it's still kind of robot-y.
Okay. What happened?
I don't know.
Okay. Did you just call me Mrs. Robot? Shut up, Kente. But when I moved to Dallas, I think that was the big move for me in terms of my girlfriend friendships, like the development of a new circle of friends. And we're still friends to this day. You know, I still connect with them. And you're absolutely right, Tiffany. Yeah, there are spurts. I mean, it's like with no other relationship. Sometimes you get on my nerves.
Right? Sometimes you're not having the best day. It doesn't matter. It's not. Absolutely. It's not contingent upon what gender you were born. It's just you. Sometimes my family gets on my nerves. Sometimes my children get on my nerves. Sometimes I just need to be by myself.
Sometimes I get on my nerves. Okay? I need to put myself in a timeout and be like, you know what? Don't say it to nobody. Okay. So, Kente said, "Where are you from, Tiffany?" Well, most of my friends currently live in Georgia.
Yeah, I am born and raised.
Tiffany lives in Georgia. I live in Georgia. My friend Tim lives in Georgia. Like my big crew is between Texas and Georgia. So he said from
Who, me?
where?
I'm
I don't know. I don't know what he's asking. Okay. So Michael, you ready to join this conversation? Because I know you itching to ask some questions. Look, you better take this spot before I call another woman.
Shannon, I can't see you. Is that on purpose? I don't know.
I can see you.
You
I
can't
can
see
see
me. Why?
everybody, and now I can finally hear her, and it's not a robot.
Look, you may not see me in a minute, because
Well, I was just wondering,
my
was
bladder
that
is
me?
talking.
Was it my
I don't know if Michael's going to join us, because I know he wanted to get on this. Yes, Dr. Amira, I've been sitting here since 11 o'clock drinking
ice cream and drinking sparkling grape juice.
So it's about that time.
I was about to say ice cream and coffee, ice cream and sparkling grape juice at that. My stomach, my stomach will be like,
like a whole
my sister, it's my sister's birthday today, and we were supposed to go to the movies. So we went to the movies, and the movies were sold out. And we went to the dollar movie, and they were closed. So we just got a whole bunch of junk food that don't even go together. And we watched the movie before I hopped on the podcast.
That's what that sound like when little kids
like
go to the store with like $5. I want that and that and that and that.
This body, it don't regret all of my choices.
I know, man, because I know my stomach would. Some coffee, ice cream, and sparkling grape juice.
And then I went to a wine tasting earlier, and I had all types of cheese and crackers and meat. I'm a
bubble guts.
I'm with it.
Damn. Past 30. Once you pass 30,
I was all the way ignorant today, though, and I'm going to make up for it.
Yeah, your body gonna get you on this one.
It is.
That's
it's
a
fine.
Bad combination.
It's an awful combination, but I already had a horrible combination, so I wanted to finish strong.
There you go. If you're gonna go out with a bang.
Tell me, because both of y'all are working with the natural. Y'all have pretty, at least in my opinion, y'all have pretty good skincare routines. What changed for you once you got past 30? What did you have to do different? And I know for me, I decided to detox everything and went to natural deodorant for the love of all things pure and holy. I hate walking around like a monkey. I'm like, my armpits itch. It's been a year of that detox process, and I'm like, Lord, I'm glad we have gotten over that process, because my coworkers used to laugh.
I can't do it
all the time.
My body.
I can't do zinc. I can't do
my body has gone either. Through like a lot of changes as far as skin. When I was younger, I had eczema really, really bad. Sensitive skin, and I guess it doesn't go away. But after 30, I've had issues with it again. Like dry skin, and breakouts. Like my skin sensitivity levels have increased significantly, and I know someone said that it was probably like hormones, because sometimes it's not as bad, but like you said, you had to do a new skincare regimen. Like I've had to adjust a lot of things. Deodorant, I've had to step it up a notch. Sometimes I be like, is that me? Oh God. So I
be walking around smelling like puberty.
Right. It's like what is really going on?
Yes, ma'am. Oh my God.
I don't remember anybody telling me like, okay, so after 30 your body, I mean, you hear like, just keep on living, but nobody specifically said, okay, after 30 this is going to happen or that's going to happen, or it's quite traumatic. It is. It's quite traumatic.
Well, I just got hip to, and I don't know if it was you, Audrey, or maybe it was Aaron, but somebody recommended to me, said Lupita uses, because I was going from, I had used Clean and Clear my whole life, the cleanser and the moisturizer. And probably when I turned 32 or 33, my face was like, no, ma'am, you're not using this no more. So I switched to African black soap. That was like,
you got
no, ma'am,
you're
not going to use that either. Like, it was like, no, ma'am. So I actually switched to witch hazel.
Yeah. It was probably Erin, because she put me on witch hazel.
And no, I got witch hazel from my old employer, but I think it was Erin that said use avocado oil for moisturizer, because I had been using Shea Balm and coconut oil, and some days it would work, and other days I look like I've been playing in snow. And so I was like, yeah, see, we can't take pictures and have people talking about the skin, so you got to try something different. But I ordered some avocado oil, and it's very light. And I'm here for it.
I think I just now noticed the magic of aggressively exfoliating. Like, I got the face scrub. I have my
bentonite clay and
I'm trying the clays. I got a clay mask that I haven't tried yet, but I'm gonna try it for the first time. Like, my skin is like, chick, you didn't have a real routine for 30 years. Get your life.
For real.
And my feet, like, I have noticed that I have to do, like, moisturize my feet way more. And I'm like, why is my skin
so
dry in this one area? What is happening?
Yes.
Well, I found a trick for that. If you mix equal parts apple cider vinegar and mouthwash, they say add water, but my feet are so dry, I don't add water. You're supposed to mix equal parts apple cider vinegar and mouthwash. This sounds crazy as heck. I'll warm it up because I want it to feel like a foot bath. Don't use the blue mouthwash because it will dye your feet. It will scrub. It will scrub it off so smooth. You will think you went and got a professional done.
Yeah, I've seen that on Facebook. I saw that on Facebook, but I never tried it.
You can just go ahead and put that in my text messages and send that to me so I can go and pick that thing up.
Apple cider that on Facebook. Don't use the white vinegar because it had your feet smell like onion. Apple cider vinegar, and the best mouthwash to get is either the green because it doesn't tint as much as the blue, or the gold because it doesn't tint your feet at all.
Right.
Take a pumice stone, let your feet soak for like 20-25 minutes. Take a pumice stone. Your feet will feel like you went to you went to the nail shop and got them done.
Okay.
Right.
I saw that somewhere on Facebook.
I need to try that out.
I have been using that religiously. It is amazing.
Kente said, I do offer that service. Kente, what service you offer?
Look here, Kente Cloth. I need for you to hold up.
He's trying to get him a date today.
A mess.
I mean, you know it. Look, he said, I got you.
Where did Michael go?
I don't know. Because he might be. Where's he at? In a high. Shut up. Colonics. Nobody do that. Nobody is talking to you today.
Lord have mercy.
Look, I need all of that, but I don't need you to get me. So I wanted to go kind of off the grid a little bit because we were just talking about resolutions from the last podcast. But I kind of want to move that question around a little bit. Are there any things that you want in this new year with your friendships that you want to see grow, you want to foster, you want to build, you want to bridge the gap on? I know my phrase has been, if I said, well, everybody's winning this season.
Ditto.
So, ladies.
Amen.
Ditto.
And please expound upon it because I am about to go to the bathroom. Praise the Lord.
That's my thing. Like, I mean, Shannon has been saying that. We have been saying that together. Like, I want everybody in my crew to be
Oh,
at their
absolutely.
best level this year. Like, myself and all of my crew, all of our dreams and aspirations, everything that
Yeah.
all desires of our hearts, I want them to come to pass, or be able, or at least be working towards them coming to pass this year. I think I have seen so many memes about 2018, how it kicked so many people butt. And when I
Man.
reflect over it, I was like, I guess 2018 has been kind of rough on in general. Like, but for me, it's kind of been an eye-opening year for me. Like, okay, Audrey, um, you doing this, you doing that, you want this, you want that. So 2019 for me, it wasn't like just a New Year's resolution. I wanted to put action to everything
Yeah.
that I desire. And that has been a motto. Shannon and I have been saying that a lot. And it's just
Yeah.
January that, let's stop talking about it. Let's be about it.
Yeah. I wanted a goal. Like, I'm always aspiring toward my goals, but something that I wanted to do different in 2019, at the beginning of the year, I made a status on Facebook, and I was talking about all the things that I purchased from my friends
Mm-hmm.
and their businesses. And I tagged them in it, and I said, I want to successfully contribute to all of my friends' businesses
Yes,
in
Lord.
an organic way, and I don't need a discount. Like, it
Right.
doesn't have to
Not
be
the
free
homie
99
discount. Yeah.
for me to partake. So I have a friend, she has a cupcake business. She does amazing treats.
Speak up
And
a
I
little bit.
started getting,
Oh no,
and I
no.
used
She
to
said,
tell her, hmm?
"Go ahead, go ahead."
I used to tell her, you are undercharging me and everybody else. Like, I told her this all the time. She's about to be in a restaurant. She's about to be a vendor for one of the food trucks that's coming to a Super Bowl.
Okay. That's what's up.
She's about to
Very
offer desserts to them because they don't offer desserts. And she did a birthday party for a celebrity. Like, she did their birthday party. She catered to their birthday. And I want to be that friend that speaks
Yeah.
life, that
Yeah.
contributes, that, oh, you got a book coming out? Let me get your book.
Mm-hmm.
I might not read it right away, but I'm going to buy it right away.
Right.
Like, I don't have to read your work. I don't have to
Right.
review it. If you are my friend and I see how hard you work and I already know you're talented, I'm supporting.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's definitely something that, and another thing that I want to do, my schedule gets so crazy, I don't initiate seeing my friends. Like, when I see Shannon, it's because Shannon comes to town. This year, I want to pick friends and go to them.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to initiate it. I don't have to wait on it. I'm going to make time because I feel like I work so much, and I have my kids and my family and all of that. I don't make time for my friends like I want to.
Yeah.
So that's something I want to try. I want to change.
Okay, so I guess it's my
That's
turn.
dope. Yep.
It's
It's
your
your
turn.
turn.
For me, I think I want to be intentional about. I think one of my gifts is encouragement and prayer. So I think that that's where I want to see increase in, because each one of my friends has been going through something in their experience, in their life journey. And it's like, I always ask, how can I encourage you? How can I pray for you? But actually seeing those things, the fruit of those things come to be. The traveling part, I pretty much have down.
Yes, you do.
I mean, it's that's my love language in real life. And I like to go see people. I find that writing letters and seeing people is more important than text messages and phone calls.
Yeah.
And so I want to take a legit girlfriend's trip.
Yeah.
Like where we just go and relax, B&B or whatever. And just have a weekend where we can wind down and enjoy each other's company and talk about all the things that, you know, we've grown through or gone through, and, you know, the things that we envision for ourselves, kind of like like a walking vision board, you know, kind of plug in those pieces and then seeing each other achieve those things and celebrating those small goals as well as the big ones. You know, I'm with you, Tiffany, in terms of supporting all of my friends' businesses, in the process of also building my own brand. Like I said, it's for us all. There's not just one person being successful.
Exactly.
I envision all of us at the top of our game. You know, you with your short stories and your writings and your resume building business, Audrey with your teaching, and then moving hopefully sooner than later into an opportunity where you are a counselor and using the gifts that God has instilled upon you in Georgia or wherever, because he may say you got to move, girl, and I'm like, come to Florida. But you know, that to me, that is always important, that we support each other, that we're authentic and transparent, and even when we ain't right, because I know there are opportunities of saying, hey, you was tripping today. But that's not because I don't love you. It's just because, hey, you got something going on, and if we talk about it, I'm here for that. But you need to get it together, brother. I love you.
It's been so many times where me and my friends, we can adjust each other crowns in private. Like I don't have to put it on Facebook. I ain't got to record it. I don't have to throw shots or subliminals. I can just pull you to the side and say, hey, your slip showing.
Not your slip.
Put that in.
Your slip is showing. I like that.
Put that back.
I like that.
So I'm very thankful to have those friends that are not afraid to say, hey, what's wrong with you? Get it together.
And I want to be intentional. I mean, there are friends that I don't see as often as I see others. Like I spend a lot of time in Georgia and Texas.
Hey.
Those are where my heartbeats are. So it's like when people say, where you going? I'm going to Georgia or I'm going to Texas. Like, it's either one of those. Shannon, don't ever come to LA.
It's all the way over there.
I went to LA in 2015. That was a year of travel for me. I went to LA in 2015.
I will say that one of my closest friends does live in LA now, so it gives me a reason.
Girl trip.
But
let's go during wine season. Let's go during wine season, September. We can go to all the vineyards and taste all the wines. I mean, I'm not going to taste all of them because they have them gross. But
today I hate dry wine. Today I did a wine tasting.
She perked up real quick. She was like, wait. Hold on.
Look, sweet wine?
No. That's not what I'm talking about. Kente just typed again because he said it earlier. I asked Audrey for her number and she gave me Shannon's. I told on you on the last podcast. I was like, back in the day, Audrey used to people would ask her for her number, and I'd be sitting right next to her. I had to fix my phone because she would be spouting off my number. And one of them called me for 3 days about, no, you gave me your number. I'm like, no, I didn't. No, it was like, you lie. It's like, oh. And I remember calling Audrey, and I said, girl, why you get that man my number? Like, why is he not? He don't believe that it wasn't me. He said, you're Audrey. Not Audrey. That's not my name.
I have a friend named Shakia, and if dudes ask her for her name, she will give them my name.
See, I was young and foolish.
She would just assume my whole identity and be like, no, friend, I'm not going to talk to him.
See, that's why I said y'all just alike. Y'all like old age and new age. Y'all got some circumstances that are too similar.
No, she does this to me. I don't do this to her. She gives them my name. She order food, and if she think that they're gonna like be rude to her, or if she feels like they think she was rude, she'll give them my name. I said, "Don't be doing this. Can you stop, please?"
Shannon, I'm sorry for
I want to know
all
why
of the
you.
years.
What'd you say?
I said, I'm
You
sorry
sorry for all the years? Let me hear this
for
apology.
all of the years of calling or pretending I was you or giving people your number,
That is
giving people
hilarious.
your name. I'm sorry. I am sorry from the depths of my soul.
All
I
right.
am
I'm gonna use
sorry.
your name moving
You can
forward.
do that. You can do that.
I'm gonna be like, my name is Audrey, and y'all can text me at 402 blah 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 blah. I'm about to put your business in there today, but I'm gonna use it.
Oh, y'all are
I am
hilarious.
so
Oh my
sorry.
god.
Buddy did
Look,
call
now
you.
look, it's my turn.
Buddy
My
called you
turn.
faithfully.
Look,
And the thing is, I don't even know why I gave a real number. I could have just gave a fake number. I don't even know why I gave him your number. That's dumb. That's the dumb
I give
part
people
about
my
it.
childhood number now. If I don't,
girl,
That's what
what
I
you
should have
said
did.
was that day you gave him the number because we was at the gas station. I never forget. We was getting ready to get gas or something, and you was like, "It was the first number that came to me." I said, "Oh, my number came before yours." I was
Girl. I remember. I
that is
remember.
hilarious.
like, "Hey, Donald from Denmark. Come on, Denmark. We got somebody on here from Denmark."
Hey,
Hey, Donald.
So yeah, I mean, and that's been the funniest one because I mean nobody else that I remember because she did it so frequently. If anyone else did it, didn't even matter at that point because I did it all the time. And I was like, why my number though? Why you didn't? I wasn't even with you some of the times that you gave him my number. I was like, what the heck?
hilarious.
And you get these random texts. I enjoyed talking to you at the club, and I'll be like, wait, no,
I didn't even go. Like how?
you're not talking. You're not talking to me, homie. You wasn't talking to me. Well, how I get your number?
I'm
I don't
sorry.
know. I have no idea. Must be magic.
All
But
I
I'm
can
not
say is
interested.
sorry.
Just look, but I'm not interested. That's all right. Maybe I passed up my husband in one of those.
It could have been. Wait a minute.
Last my
Stay
phone off.
with it. Stay with it.
Look, you can't say talking about these poor guys. Nah.
That be okay.
They
Because they
will.
probably got 20 numbers that night, and they was just waiting for somebody to bite the bait. I mean, because
I'm sorry.
that was the name of the game when we was at that age. You know,
Yeah.
how many numbers you could get. Girl, why that look like one of them old school drinks that when you was changing your phone, your picture sparkling inside it was like a Sutter Home or something.
No, it looked like.
It's delicious.
I was about to say, I knew it was Welch's.
It looks like I don't even know what it's called.
Barefoot.
Huh?
That's what it looks like. Barefoot.
Maybe.
The little cheap wine.
I don't like Barefoot.
I don't even.
My mom can drink it, but I don't like it.
I have two wines that I go to. Fuki, which is the plum wine, and Barcinera, which is an Italian Moscato.
I like Moscato. I like the sweet. I do not like dry wine because it tastes like I'm drinking rum and alcohol, and I'm not.
If it's too dry, now go see. Every year I go to reading. I score AP exams of students, and it's been in Salt Lake City for the last 5 years, and that experience introduced me to some red wines because a lot of times, I mean, they give you food, they give you liquor to keep you happy, I guess. I don't know. But a Shiraz, those aren't too dry. It's kind of in the middle. It's like a sweet, but it is kind of a dry. And it's one called Jam Jar. and it's
I
a
like jam jar. I've
it's
had
a.
that
Have
before.
you had the
I've
sweet
had that.
Shiraz?
Hmm.
It's
Yep.
good. It has to be cold, but it's good. I like that. I was introduced to that here within the last 5 years. But before Shannon, no, all we did was a Moscato. Everything was a Moscato. Moscato was like
Fact.
the hip cool phrase. But I
Mm,
We had
ventured out.
a sparkling Moscato today, so that was a little different.
Okay.
yeah, see, I'm thick
I
Sparkling.
on the
like
end.
I like the sparkling ones. I don't like the ones that are non-carbonated. Because I
I
think
didn't know.
Bartender,
Sutter Homes is not, their Moscato is just like a
disgusting.
flat. I like the
Sutter
bubbles.
Homes is nasty to me.
It is
I
nasty.
don't like it.
It is
Yeah,
gross.
I'm gonna have to pass on that. Pass on that.
It's another one. It start with a P. Um, I'm gonna have to look
I
it
don't.
up. It's a Moscato. I like that. And then the one Shannon you said,
Bartender.
I like those too. But yeah, I've been dibbling and dabbling. But actually, a bartender when we were in Utah, he was telling me because I was like, I can't do the dry. He said if you add a little Sprite to it, if you're in a if you're in a situation and all they have is like a dry or red wine, ask them for a Sprite and put about a third of Sprite in with it and it'll
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
sweeten it up and give it some carbonations. And it worked. It helped.
hmm. I'll have to
So
try
if
that.
you're
Yeah.
ever in a bind and all you can
I
get is
usually just
dry
smell them.
wine, ask for a Sprite.
Mm-mm. I usually smell them first, and I'm like, nope, and I pass it on to the next friend. That's what I did
Exactly.
this past weekend in Atlanta. We were sitting at a
Girl.
wine bar, and we tried everything, and I was sniffing, and I was like, nah,
Well, see, at these
it feels
conferences,
good.
they will buy up a bunch of like certain wines. It won't be like a for real open bar. And so
Ah,
it's like, you got to give me something. And that was a
exactly.
suggestion.
Look, just give me a shot of brandy.
Girl, they don't do shots. Utah has crazy
You're
alcohol
in Utah?
laws. The conference, no. When I go to this
She's in
conference,
Georgia. She's
I'm
in
in
Oh, okay.
Columbus.
Columbus, but this conference, or this reading that I go to every year, the drinking laws in Utah are like super crazy.
I think
Like
Georgia has super crazy alcohol laws.
there's a lot of, well, I didn't realize there was a lot of dry counties here.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
I think
it's ridiculous.
Columbus, since this will be 10 years since I've been here. And I think since I've been here, they just started serving alcohol on Sundays. Like,
Exactly.
just started.
Man, look, we need more wine. Look, like the book said. Not necessarily the book. I love Gabrielle Union, raised up to Nebraska. But yeah, no. I mean, we definitely need more wine.
Yeah.
So
And I think,
that's
matter of
all.
fact, this year, I think it was after 12. This past election, I think they just voted where they can move it up to like Sundays, period. So, like, you could have a mimosa. But I think up until this year, they couldn't serve alcohol on Sundays until after 12. I think it was after 12.
Yeah, you're right. Because when you went into Walmart or any type of store that sold
Mm-hmm.
alcohol on Sunday, you have to
Mm-hmm.
wait until afternoon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it
You're
was
like, why?
12. Yeah, it just recently here in Columbus passed where just Sunday period you could buy it.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
It's a whole lot of
Okay.
ridiculous going on right now. But I
All facts.
digress.
All facts. All facts. So, what would, since y'all both in Georgia and y'all in two different parts of Georgia, so this will be an interesting idea. If you had to plan a girlfriend's day in your city, what would that look like?
I wouldn't. I would go we would go somewhere else 9 times out of
Oh my
10.
God.
I would need you to do in Columbus. You are good sushi there, ma'am.
I mean it's stuff to do, but you don't want to do what you always do. So that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
We probably would, even if it was nowhere but Noonan, but just to get out of Columbus.
Okay, so what would we do in Noonan?
Probably get something to eat, something to drink.
Places have names?
You said what?
Do these places have names?
I was just saying Noonan hypothetically, but I don't know. Probably Atlanta. Like I know my niece, matter of fact, she's back from Korea. My cousin was stationed in South Korea, so she's back. And so, but she's going to be stationed in South Carolina, but next weekend is her birthday. And so the middle ground, she was like, well, let's go to Atlanta. So it's like, Columbus is like an hour and a half from Atlanta. So honestly, if we wanted to do something different, most of the time for somebody's whatever, we would drive up to Atlanta.
Okay. What about you, Trap Nizzle? What would that look like?
Well, you already know I like good food, so I think everybody should experience milk and honey.
Yeah, look, yeah.
So my place would be milk and honey.
Okay,
Have you ever been to Milk and Honey?
I haven't. I was just going to ask, what
oh my God. So it's off Cascade. It's this brunch place that is Black owned.
It's brunch?
They have amazing food. Yes.
Okay.
They have amazing, when I say amazing food, there are not too many places that love there are not too many places that I go where I taste the food and I say, yeah, I can't make this.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to have to figure this out.
I go, I'm like, I can make this at the house. Not Milk and Honey.
Let me put this in my radar.
It's amazing. The atmosphere is cool.
Much better than the cone peach French toast, in my opinion. And actually, the version that you had the first time we went was better than the time that I just went last weekend. So, and I'm going to ask some questions in just a minute because Dr. Ramirez got a few. But their shrimp and grits was bomb. Oh. And I didn't even like grits at the time. But when I tried your sister, I was like,
you probably don't like instant grits. And they don't serve instant grits.
Girl, I don't know. But there's only two places where I actually enjoy the grits. And that's Milk and Honey and the Breakfast Club 2 here in Key West. And they're with chorizo and garlic oil. Man, listen. I want to slap everybody, mama.
Okay, I'm looking at their menu now.
See? It's
on point. On point.
11 to 3.
Pictures look exactly like your plate.
Look, Kente said he make the best grits.
Dude.
We'll figure that out.
Well, I'm a certified taste tester.
Okay, look, honey, I will try it all. Do not play with me. Okay, so Dr. Amir said, what's the worst character trait in a friend?
Deceitful. I had to end a friendship with a chick I met when I was 11 because she slept with somebody I was seeing. But it was ongoing.
That's intense, honey.
And she kept lying about it.
So this was somebody. So like she knew, like there was no shadow of a doubt, no kind of like, girl, I didn't know you talked to him. Like she knew what she was doing. I'm just asking. That's me. I'm that friend.
Oh, yes, because it's my child's other parents. And I won't say which child.
Yeah.
I think I know where this is going. So you ain't got to say not none on the word.
Right. So it's one thing to do something that horrible, but you own up to it.
Right.
Don't lie to me on a consistent basis every freaking day.
That's bad. That's bad.
Yeah, that's horrible. What about you, Audrey? Worst character trait in a
Hmm.
All right, well, while you thinking about it, I'll go.
Okay, thanks.
Um, I would say, for me, selfishness.
Yes.
See, I was toggling between the two.
And I would say intense levels of selfishness, because I ended a friendship. I think we had been friends from probably, I think I might have met her either the end of kindergarten or the beginning of first grade. And we stopped being friends in 2007 or 8. So over the span of almost 20 years, because of a selfish act. And she basically drug my name in the dirt, talking about, as if I should have been thankful that she came to town, which she didn't even come to town for me.
Right.
And so I didn't even argue about it. Right. I was just like, okay, you got it. And I left it at that and dropped him off at the airport and wiped my hands. And now some people may say, oh my gosh, I can't believe you cut a relationship off just like that. But people who know me know that, first of all, I'm a Sagittarius through and through. I love you deep, but when I'm done, I'm done.
Right.
And so for me, it was like, what you not going to do is trifle all over my friendship.
Exactly.
And be so self-absorbed that you can't admit that you was wrong.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that. It's funny you say that, because another lesson I've learned in these wonderful 30s, this seems to be the theme, is you have to be a friend to yourself.
Yeah.
Like, no friendship with another person can trump my friendship with
yourself. Yeah.
Right.
You got to love you.
I can't love somebody else more than I love me. So cutting that friendship off with her was hard, because as much as I said, I was done with, I was still friends with her family on Facebook. I just now, this year, in 2019, this happened years ago. I just now deleted all of the people that are in her family off my Facebook friends list, because I have to sever those ties. Like, I have to move on.
Yeah. I was going to say, like Shannon said, like extreme selfishness. Deceitfulness is a big one.
But it all ties together.
It really does. Because at the end of the day, I feel like if you're not adding any value to the friendship, that's when it's like, I feel like I'll just fall back. If it's always me contacting you, or, you don't move until I move, or, like recently, I've had some friendships where and they weren't really friendships. I guess you could say more associateships, but, where I realized, if I'm not calling you, I'm not hearing from you. Or if your child isn't like involved or calling my child, then I don't hear from you. Or like, if you're not adding any value, I'll just fall back. Yeah. I know how to handle people with a long handle spoon very well. I'm really good at that. And so that's
sometimes you gotta be.
And it's no harm, no foul. Like Shannon said, I think at the beginning of the podcast, seasons. Some people are in your life for a season, and I'm grateful and thankful for that season. Yeah. But you have to, for yourself to grow and evolve, you have to know when that season's up. Because a lot of times you'll hold yourself back trying to hold on to past relationships that you've outgrown.
Yes. And the crazy part about it is, me and that person, our friendship should have been over years ago. And I just kept holding on to it on the strength that we met when we were so
memories. Young. Yep. That's it right there. You can be tied to a memory.
Yeah. Have you all ever shot your friendship shot? I saw this thing that these two girls, they were like hugged up at a concert, and she was saying that she was new on campus and she moved away for school and she didn't know anybody, and she saw this girl online and she realized she'd seen her around campus and she liked her, so she jumped in her inbox. Hey, I'm not a creep. Can we hang out sometime? You seem really cool and I don't have any friends here. And they've been friends ever since.
Oh, that's sweet. I'm gonna tell you, the crazy thing is, the person that I am the closest with here in Georgia was okay. So when I moved here, I did not have a teaching job. I had been applying for jobs, and then like I got an interview, and like it seemed like everything just happened so fast. I got a job. I got hired right before the school year was getting ready to start. And so like when I got to the school, everybody was kind of giving me a rundown was who's who. And so everybody was like, okay, the attendance lady, she's mean. Stay away from her. Be cautious of her. I was like, oh, okay, cool. You know, whatever. And so the school at that time, we would float. Teachers didn't have like their rooms. So somebody might float into your classroom one block. And so we had like a little teacher's lounge. And so first year there, I'm chilling, putting in grades at the computer, had my headphones on. And so the attendance lady came up behind me and she was like, hey, this student's name, which happened to be her son. She was like, I saw he had a couple of missing grades. What does he need to do? Can he still turn them in? I was, hi, I'm Miss Bynum, da 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 da. I accept half credit for late work. He could turn them in, da 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 da. That moment, and from there on, she started speaking. We started speaking to each other. That created our friendship. And like, she is like the closest thing, like, besides the brothers that I have. That right there. And that's why I say like all of my friendships have been divinely organized. And that's what I tell her son all the time. Like, you having missing work is why your mom came and found me. And then our friendships. But I say that to say that when you have real relationships, you could feed off of each other. You could build off each other. You can encourage each other. It's not like just like, hey girl, what you doing or whatever. But that was like just like random. It was so random. Like out of all 100 and whatever odd kids I had her son in my class. He had missed work. And that made her, because I didn't even know that was her son. Right. That made her come find me to find out about that work. And then it just blossomed from there.
Right.
That's like the craziest thing ever.
Yeah, that's dope, though. That's important.
It is. When you look back on how you meet people, it's like, wow. Like, that is, wow.
My daughter's godmother, we met because we both worked at a daycare. This was way before I had kids. And so her fiance, I did not know this was her fiance, walked in our job because we had orientation. I'd never met her. I said, why are you in here? I went to high school with this dude. And so he started laughing. He said, why are you in here? I said, I'm at work. What you doing? I know you don't work here because I ain't that stupid. He said, I'm here to pick up my fiance. I said, nobody's stupid enough to marry you. And then watch my lovely friend, Shakia. Hey, babe. I said, oh my God, you drugged her.
Girl.
We have been friends ever since. Randomly us working together at a daycare. Aww. Now, mind you, she's divorced from this dude now.
Wow.
So she always tell people, she'll always say, I met Tiffany, one divorce, one girl, and one boy ago.
Oh my gosh. That is hilarious.
That is too cute.
Because when her fiance walked in, I was like, ain't nobody dumb enough to marry you. They're not even finna do it.
Girl, we all have them dumb moments, them dumb streaks.
Don't we? That's the
Poor
beautiful
thing.
thing. The absolute beautiful thing. And I think Dr. Mira had asked another question. She had asked the worst girls trip. Have you had one of those?
I'm now getting into the girls trip. I didn't do living on campus. I didn't make friends in college like that to where we were super close and stuff like that. Like I stayed to myself and I regret it. But now that I'm older, I'm cultivating those friendships and doing things that, that's more like a coming of age thing when you're younger, like road trips and stuff like that. So I don't have too many horror stories. I will say, me and Shakira, we always get lost in the car. Like our GPS will randomly stop working. And she says, we're each other's bad luck charm when it comes to road trips. Because we get lost and see the most ignorant things out. We'll see somebody randomly walking up the highway. I think he saw this. I don't know if I know he was homeless, but I don't know if he was mental. Stark naked, walking up the highway. Like, why?
Oh, no. Poor thing.
So we see weird things together. So I think we're each other's horror stories because we have had some adventures.
We'll have to talk about those stories on the podcast. Any worst girl trips for you, Audrey?
Shannon, we've had worse moments. Not I don't think a whole trip has been just horrible.
Right.
But we've had moments. That trip to Miami, we had a bad moment there.
Yes.
That Shannon was talking earlier about in the process of her grieving her friend's death. We so what was it? 4 of us came to Miami off of the heels of this. And so that was really bad. That was bad. We got it together. We had good moments before, but we had an incident that it was like, oh. And I have to say, Shannon was still kind of grieving, and I sent a message because Shannon was tripping, but instead of me just saying, "Hey girl, you tripping," I sent the group message and said, "Shannon's tripping," and like a whole bunch of other stuff, and didn't realize Shannon was in the group message. Then I had to tell her myself. I can laugh at it now. So then it like spilled over. Like that night was bad. We rebounded. We got through it. We said our apologies. We had a good last night. But that part of the trip was bad. The time we went to see,
I was in my Sagittarius feelings for a couple of weeks.
It was rough. It was rough, but but see, here's the thing. A real friend, that's not the end.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? If it was in a real friendship,
is going to do something to hurt you.
Not intentionally. Not intentionally.
Well, no. What I mean in retaliation, there'll be no mindset of retaliation.
Right.
It's just cool off.
Right.
You get my nerves. Go over there.
Right. Right. Absolutely. So yeah, we rebound from that, so we good. I was gonna say that time we went to see Jill Scott in Detroit.
I was just gonna say when we had to leave that last.
One you had to leave what?
She woke us up out our sleep talking about let's go. It's time to go. I was like, what the heck?
What time was it?
Girl, it was like the middle of the night.
Wait a minute, Shannon. I wasn't even there yet. I was going to talk about that time we was going to fight in Waffle House.
No. Because they shouldn't have been talking about my blossom hat. They was trying to come for me. I was like, oh, it's on right now.
Okay. Was that the same night as the Jill Scott concert? Was that the same night, Shannon?
I don't know. Now that I think about it, that was in our time in Detroit. Well, that was our second time in Ohio.
That was in Ohio.
Yeah, we went by ourselves the first time, and then Aaron came with us the second time.
That was the Jill Scott time.
That was all the drama. Like, the Jill Scott concert.
Okay, so one of our brothers, Aaron, she was a bit inebriated. And so after the concert, we had went and we were I don't know if it was Waffle House, but it was a Waffle House type setup kind of place. And so it was a guy that I was talking to in Ohio. So that was part of the reason why we would take trips down there. We went to eat, and I don't even know how Aaron got started. Talking loud, talking about.
Because every time somebody would say something, yeah, she was on one that night.
Talking about people, and then after a while, they was like, "Look, you came down here, girl." They was Shannon had one of them floppy hats on. It was cute though, Shannon.
You was cute. Shannon. I was trying to be.
Shannon, you was cute. You was cute. They was just hating. They was like, y'all came in here. She got on this blossom hat. Girl, we was finna get jumped. We got red out.
Girl,
it was like,
I got that fork so fast. And I was like, listen.
We went to
don't get in the IHOP.
Me and Shakia. I'm 5'10", barefoot. We went to a club. I have on heels. This chick kept dancing in front of me and my friend. So I'm like, listen, I want her to move because that's not my scene. I need her to move. And Shakia was like, no. We just gonna keep it peaceful. I said, I'm not gonna get hyped. I just need her to move because she's jiggling in my face. Can you move to the side? And she doing all of this, and she in my face. Before Shakia could grab my arm, I jumped up.
Swung. Oh my god!
And at this moment, I'm like 6'3.5", 6'4", looking all types of crazy because I done leaned down in her face like, I'm sorry. Can you repeat all that what you had said when I was sitting down? She was like, I don't want
Jesus. I know she did. I'm sure she did.
Shakia was like, I am not tall enough to be your wingman in a physical altercation.
I know that. Not at all. You had it on lock. You handled it. Because we're not finna do this. Why you and I know? Shannon.
At 36, I've never been in a physical fight as an adult with anyone.
Yeah.
So, but I will fight.
Right.
Look, if I have to.
Right.
I got CT'd from a whole gas station, and I don't even know if I can still go back. But I didn't fight nobody.
Girl.
But
okay. She said if you had a category of friends, like, for example, the drunk, the slut muffin, the therapist, the professional, the lawyer, the ghetto, the punk, the shy, the quiet. That's a lot of damn friends. I ain't got that many friends.
Yeah,
the quiet one that many. And the crazy one. Okay, let me give y'all my list then. Okay, so I don't have any friends that are drunk at this age.
No.
We don't. The slut muffin. Ain't gonna tell nobody's business today. I'm just not gonna do that.
Who you say you're not gonna tell business?
I said the slut muffin. I said I ain't gonna tell nobody's business. Back in the day,
we all had our slut moments. Let's keep it real. Am I the only one?
No.
Like, I'm a reformed hoe.
I was like I wanted to be a secret, but I couldn't find enough willing participants. So, the professional. Oh my gosh! I know. The lawyer who can talk us out of anything. I don't really. Dr. Amira, you stumped me in half of these. Like, I have no idea. I don't have a shy friend. Quiet one. I mean, I guess quiet is relative.
My bad. Sorry, guys.
Here, clearly, she is the drunk. That is
right.
Really? I'm not even drunk.
All roaches.
What it is.
So she's a lightweight.
I'm trying to balance my phone like a netball on the charger.
I was like, you better get here because we still got 2 hours together.
It's okay. I just took the charger out. It's on 40%. It'll last. It's fine.
She said 40.
It's on 40. I started it off at 2. We're good.
Oh.
I'm gonna pray for you. I'll be on this podcast by myself, talking about your short stories by myself. But okay, whatever. Kente said you are reformed now.
Who said that?
Kente said, Audrey, you are reformed now. When you said it,
he's been delivered.
Yes, delivered. I am delivered.
I'm still waiting to have my slut moment.
I went through in 20s. I said one day I was gonna write a book, and I was gonna name it
The Slut Chronicles.
No, chapter. I'm trying to think. I don't remember what when I stayed in the townhouses, Shannon.
What you say?
Bust it wide open.
No, we definitely wasn't gonna name it that.
We're not doing that. It needs to be.
I gotta try to remember my address when I stayed in them townhomes.
Oh, I do not remember.
I'm saying I have to remember it, but that's what I said. I was gonna name the book.
Because I was like, I do not remember, but we have so many memories from that townhome.
Yes, but I just went through a phase where it was like I wasn't feeling nobody. But I was just doing my thing. But I'm delivered now.
I think women are owed that. But that's a whole nother
that's what I was about to say. When y'all have that podcast, let me know so I could chime in. Because it's no different from what men do. But when women do it, we're labeled sluts, hoes, this, that, and the other.
Okay,
I have 2 children and I'm not married. I have dudes thinking I can do all types of things. And I'm like, baby, I don't think any woman can do any of the things that you would like her to do.
Right. But that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother story.
Okay, well, we're going to have that podcast. Kente, we're going to go ahead and book them for March.
In a decent hour, please. Not at 3:53 a.m.
No, we will be back to our scheduled programming. 6 o'clock Pacific. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we'll book y'all for March. We can have that conversation about women and what people think about us, the stereotypes.
Sure.
They can hang them out.
So what am I, Shannon?
What are you?
Out of that list that Dr. Amir read off.
Oh, Lordy Jesus, you're making me do too much right now.
Mm-hmm.
And
you're the therapist.
Yeah, strangely, that's what I want to be.
That's what I would say for you.
I'm
putting you on the spot. Time's ticking.
I think for the most part, we'll probably put 2 titles together and one of them's not on there. I would put the professional mother because you mother henned me that weekend. I was like,
oh.
But Shannon, that was you for a long time, though. Do you realize that?
Yeah, probably early 20s.
I was gonna say when we was out in the world doing our thing, you were the mother hen. We was in the world living in sin, girl.
I'd be like, don't do it.
She was.
Like, don't do it.
Shannon was the mother hen. She was the voice of reason.
Because I was like, and I lived vicariously through them, even though I said don't do it, because I was like, well, there's consequences to this, or you're gonna regret it, or what happens if this happens? And
so Shannon was. She was the voice of reason. You were like Sophia. From the Golden Girls. You were the voice of reason.
I was thinking, girl, I was clearly thinking The Color Purple.
No, not Miss Sophia. I went back to the Golden Girls.
I think I have one of everything. In the people you name, including the drunk. Listen, my
Look,
friends,
you know
I
what?
had those friends that are professional and
Mhm.
quiet, and I had those friends that are busted wide open and get it popping. And sometimes all of those friends get together at the same time, and it makes for amazing memories.
Yeah, I bet it
Absolutely.
would.
No
Well,
pictures, no cell.
guess what,
Right.
you two? We
Was
have
that?
actually survived our 2-hour podcast.
Yeah.
Um, so I give you 30 seconds closing remark on girlfriends. Like, what is the one thing, one word, one phrase for all girlfriends across the globe that you want them to remember about girlfriend friendships?
Girlfriend friendships, in doing that, you don't have to wait for somebody to initiate it with you. If you don't have the people around you that you want, there's too many online. Like Shannon and I met online, strictly online, and I trust Shannon with my kids, and we met online. So seek women. Like I wanted more writers in my circle. I wanted more people that were further along in their craft, and I got that. And my life has been so much better because of it. Seek the people that you wish around you if they aren't there yet. Find them and shoot your friendship shot.
There you go. Shoot your shot.
30 seconds because Tiffany didn't follow that rule.
What I do?
You spent more than 30 seconds
Oh,
following.
Oh.
We got you in the chat
Okay,
room.
so
Uh,
I'll just say, everybody needs girlfriends. Make sure you are being a good friend. Don't be that friend that you wouldn't expect to be for you. Like, it's a reciprocal relationship.
oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And for me, I'll say what I've said on Facebook for now 6 years. Everybody needs a friend until it's time to be one.
yeah.
So always be the friend that you needed when you needed one. And you ain't gonna have no problem.
Yeah.
Beautiful people. Kente, do I just move over to the next one? Tiffany, you gonna move over to the next one too.
Okay.
Audrey, you going back to sleep?